overall, we still have the housing shortage in Canada.
A lot of people are scared of buying.
What happens if the market does go up? When you got 20 offers on the place, only one person's winning. Today, right now, we're sitting the average home price being less than last year.
I don't think we've ever seen anything like that, right?
All right, Noah, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. So, how long have I known you now?
Almost 4 years, I think.
Yeah?
That you've known me.
So you were co-op 4 years ago?
Co-op 5 or 6.
No, so I've
Yeah.
known you since then.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, at the Holiday Lane office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's it been like from being a co-op student in real estate to jumping into real estate right out of high school?
It's been good. It's always, every year is different since. My first year was during COVID, high prices, things would just sell. And you show 2 houses, it would sell. That changed a lot since. We spend a lot more time with clients, showing houses to clients. Like right now, I think my average would be around like 15 houses per client.
Yeah.
So you spend a bit more time. It's good to builds a better relationship with the clients as well.
For sure.
Because you spend a lot more time with them.
Yeah.
Versus 4 years ago, you'd show one house, write an offer. If you get it, you get it.
Well, I mean, that's also one thing too, right? Is like, sure,
Yeah.
sure, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, early in the year, buyers were essentially offering everything they saw.
Yeah.
But when you got 20 offers on the place, only one person's winning. So, I mean, at the same time, people could say, how easy it was, that buyers were more motivated and do more, but then at the same time too, you're competing.
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they were easier, and like there's definitely more sales happening.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it kind of equates more, is that obviously when there's more sales happening, there's more pieces of the pie to go around and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I think that created a lot of issues for sure in our industry, because people who bought homes then, they bought in bidding wars, and so they have the buyer remorse of feeling like they overpaid, and then obviously having no connection to the realtor, and potentially blaming the realtor, right? So I think, right now it's a lot better to build those relationships and to take care of the clients and give them the ability to do their due diligence and make the right decision. So, but definitely now with buyers having more choices and thinking the market's going down, then you can also see people. The hardest thing for me, I think, is seeing people miss out on opportunity, right? So there's the two sides of the spectrum, right, where we had it when the market is super hot and people get emotional and potentially overpay for a home. But then there's the other side, right? And this happens, like right now, we're shooting, this is October 30th. We'll see when it gets posted. But pretty much without fail, every single year around this time, we see the market come down. And there's a lot more homes for sale. There's a lot less homes selling. And so the homes that do sell end up selling for less, right? Because right now, there are some homes that are going to sell for record prices still because they're unique. But if you're dealing with a condo or a townhouse that has pretty much the same layout as all the neighbors that are listed, then you're going to go for the one that's the cheapest price. And when the ones aren't selling and you're a seller and you need to sell and the other neighbor doesn't need to sell, you're going to have to do what you need to do to make sure that yours sells before the neighbor. And again, so this time of year is where we do see buyers get the best deals. But the biggest mistake that I see, or what hurts to see, is that because the fear of loss is such a strong motivator, right? That fear of loss that made buyers pay more for homes when they're in bidding wars. The fear of loss is in reverse right now, where they fear losing out on the best deal. They think that, if I buy this house today, I'm going to miss out on the house a month from now that's cheaper. And, that might be true for the next couple of months. But just like every single time around this year without fail, we see prices come down. Every single year, without fail, we see them come up in the spring. And I've seen so many buyers miss out on their opportunity in November, December, even in January, thinking that the houses will get cheaper, only to find and see that the house has gone up 5-10%, by the time March rolls around, right?
Yeah.
So it's a hard thing for us as realtors, without trying to sound pushy, or make it seem like we have commission breath or we're trying to get them just to buy a house, but to actually tell them, hey, look, like, let's do the numbers here. Let's do the math and what happens if the market does go up, and what does that look like for you? Does this house make sense for you, and what monthly payments can you afford?
Mm-hmm. Especially now, looking with the interest rates coming down, and we don't know what's going to happen in December, but if they come down again, when it comes to New Year's, there's going to be a lot of people highly motivated.
Well, I mean, that's a great point, right? So if you take a look at, I mean, us on our team,
Yeah.
how many people do we talk to every single week that are looking at the real estate market, right?
Yeah.
Like hundreds a week, times 52 weeks a year, times the last 4 years since, or no, I guess we could say the last 3 years since interest rates went up, right? I would say close to 80%. Conversation we have is, well, we're waiting for interest rates to come down. And right now, we're sitting at the lowest they've been since 2022, and likely close to the lowest they're going to be in the foreseeable future, right? We might see them come down a little bit more, but likely they're going to hold around where they are, right? And so when buyers start to see that we are now at that low price, that low point of the interest, and right now, we're sitting the average home price being less than last year. We're also at the lowest purchase price and the lowest interest rate. How many buyers from that 80% that weren't buying, that were waiting, how many come back to market, right?
Yeah.
And if we look at, just 10% more buyers coming back to the market, what does that mean, right?
Yeah.
And it's a massive difference, and supply and demand and everything changes, right?
Yeah, we'll see a big spike coming up.
For sure, and that's ultimately what it is buyer demand goes down when price interest rates go up. But as soon as they're down, you have a whole bunch more buyers coming into the market, and then the whole cycle repeats.
Yeah. Right. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, actually, I definitely expected it to have a bigger year this year with interest rates coming down, right?
Yeah.
But I think, this is all anecdotal, like what I'm seeing. But I think the reason the real estate market is not popping off, we expected it to, with the interest rates being lower, is the tariffs and the economy, right? I've never seen it where the lowest priced homes are some of the slowest segment in the market, right? Mm-hmm. Like when 2022, 2023 came and the market really slowed down, people were still fighting for that bottom entry level market. Because, I mean, you have first time home buyers, you have investors, and you have downsizers, right? The baby boomers who are now downsizing their homes, they're all fighting for, those entry level condos or smaller homes. And with the interest rates being higher, they're all fighting for that same approval amount, right? Like once you go up another 50K, another 100K, the amount of buyers that are approved went significantly down. So that's where I'm used to seeing is those ones really flying off the shelf. But right now they're sitting, and the only thing that I can come up with is that the first time home buyers are, and I mean investors too, that may be over leveraged or whatnot, are concerned about job certainty, right? They're concerned about the economy. And people that are purchasing right now are people who are more established, maybe have savings built up or equity or whatnot. And so we see a lot of the higher end homes, moving a little bit faster, which is something I've never seen before, and something that I talk to agents across North America, and that they're saying the same thing too, that they've never seen it before and it's happening. And obviously there's the same concerns in all over Canada and all over the US about the future of the economy with a lot of the policy
Yeah.
and what's going on with the countries.
Yeah. It's something, well, tariffs and stuff like that, like this, I don't think we've ever seen anything like that, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely don't know enough to talk about it in any sort of light that I would feel confident.
Yeah.
I can only speculate on what I see in the real estate market and the correlation that looks to me is there, right? But I mean, so that's the thing. That's the one thing is obviously it's real estate market is going to be tied to our economy to a certain extent, and that's going to have a big play of what happens. But for the most part, is we know that overall we still have a housing shortage in Canada.
Yeah.
Overall, our home prices are still almost half that, a bit more than half of what they are in the GTA, with the average income being the same. So I think Ottawa especially is still poised to see a lot of growth coming soon. And, people are going to have to pay what the rents are or a mortgage, either one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you seeing kind of maybe the best opportunities for buyers right now, or where are you seeing homes that are selling fast that are still holding their value?
A bit, honestly, a bit outside of Ottawa, I feel is still selling very strongly because you have less people tied to like government jobs or anything like that. We have more electricians, plumbers that are still always going to have jobs. So I see those markets where, like outside of Ottawa,
Yeah.
so Embrun, Limoges, Rockland, Wendover, those areas, they still, houses don't sit much.
Yeah, and I think like that's a great look on it, man. I didn't look at like basically the jobs of these people in these areas, but I always think of it as price point. But that's a really good point. But at the same time too, being a little bit more affordable
Yes,
helps too, right?
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Because anything that's more affordable in the East End doesn't really stay very long.
yeah,
But when you go up to 800 and those price
yeah,
points, those are hard to move.
yeah.
Like those don't sell very well right now.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense because we see the average price coming down so much in the city that when you get up to that price point, you can probably find a deal with the same amount of land or similar kind of property closer to the city than you would have before.
Yeah, for sure. Because the
Yeah,
price difference between sometimes Orleans or Rockland, if it's the same, a lot of people are going to go
yeah,
Orleans instead of Rockland. So
for sure.
that makes a big difference for that market as well.
100%. What are you seeing in the rental market?
In the rental market, there's a lot of people looking to rent.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of people are scared of buying. So I think they're just either renewing their lease or looking to rent.
For sure. I mean, I think I see that as well over the last couple of years, but right now I'm seeing the first wave, I think, of a lot of the new rental units coming, right? Like, I think we know that there was a housing shortage, that became evident in COVID,
Yeah.
right? And then so a lot of people, and then, I mean, the laws in Ontario changed, the zoning changed in the city, and so they made it a lot easier for people to build multiple units.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a lot more multi-units coming and a lot more rental units coming available. And so definitely think, yeah, with people not buying, they have to go to renting, but we're seeing more rental inventory increasing on my side. And I think that's another big thing too, right, is rent prices have increased so much. And so now if we see, rent prices increasing, but interest rates to purchase decreasing, then we might have some of these renters come back and realize that, okay, renting made sense for the last couple of years with interest rates and prices the way they were, but now with rental rates the way they are and interest rates and prices the way they are, I mean, do the math, and I think I'm seeing people come back for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But what I've been seeing is, well, personally, a lot of my friends that are currently renting, they're having a hard time saving up for the down payment. So that's where their big issue is.
I mean, that's every person
Yeah.
in, that's, well, not every person, 99% of the population,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's hard enough to cover the cost of living and not
Yeah.
go into debt. Talk about saving up down payments, right? That's definitely, as we get into the new generations, it's going to be the biggest concern, the biggest gap that we've ever seen. And yeah, it's tough for sure.
Yeah. It's hard to see.
Yeah, yeah. Something's well, there's a will, there's a way, right? But
Hmm.
yeah. What about rent to owns? Have you seen more people asking about that because of the down payment issue?
That's always been a conversation I've had with people looking for lower price points. I've always had that inquiry, like within the last 4 years that
Yeah.
I've been in real estate. I've never seen one happening. Have you?
So I've never seen one go through successfully,
Yeah.
right? And that's the issue is that I think if you would have done one of these rent to owns in 2017, 2018, you would have ended up okay. And I mean, I can't speak to all rent to own companies, and I'm definitely not trying to speak negatively on a type of business. But from the contracts that I've seen, that I've reviewed for clients and learned about, is that they basically assume the property is going to gain X amount of value over the next so many years. So you're actually agreeing to purchase the home for X amount more than what the investor is purchasing it for that day. And so you're making rental payments, but in the end, you're going to purchase that home, right? And so obviously, it would have made sense if you bought right before the boom, in which case the home's value did go up significantly, right? But if you would have bought anytime since 2021, then you would not, you'd be underwater, right? Because you have to buy the property at way more than it's worth today, what similar property was be selling for, right? So obviously at that point, you just walk away. The contract's null and void, right? And you still got to qualify for the mortgage, right? So would it be better for you to just pay rent and save up for your down payment? You're gonna have to anyways because you're paying more than normal market rent, and then buy at market value in that day. So I mean, I think to me the only way rent to own makes sense is if you are that confident that the prices are going to be that much significantly different in whatever the contract term is, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But if you don't see them, because they have they'll show you, oh, the average price goes up this amount per year, but that's that's averaged over the last 25 years, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like the home prices actually went up that much consecutively. They had years where they didn't go up at all, and then they had years where they jumped significantly, right? So I think that's the biggest thing for I would have to advise people to watch out for when looking into those is doing the math and making sure that they're not jumping into something because yes, anytime I've heard someone who said that they've done it, it never made sense for them to buy in the end, and they ended up just walking away.
Yeah. And when you do a rent to own, so you pay the rent plus an extra for the down payment, right? Every month?
Yeah, so I think it depends on the company that's structured, right? And so yes, you're paying into it, but at the same time, you can't be paying the full down payment because you have to get a mortgage yourself when you purchase it in 3 years from now, right? And the mortgage is going to require that you put some sort of down payment in, right? And then with the price difference too, right? Like say the house is 500 today, and you're agreeing to buy it for 525 or whatnot, right? That's in 5 years. That's 5% per year, right?
Yeah.
So you then have to it has to appraise for that much, and you have to have the down payment for a house that's worth. I know 5% per year would be significantly more than that. It would be 600K.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Sorry, I screwed up on that math. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, because 5% of 500K would be 25K. So yeah, I mean, you're looking at purchasing it in 4 years for 600K.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I have to refresh my memory and look at these contracts, but I thought that's kind of what it was, and that's where you can see, does that really make sense? You know, do you believe that the house is going to be worth more than 600K in 5 years if it's worth 500K today?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's a bad example. They must be a little bit lower than that, but my memory was something like that. So I'd have to double check. And I can't speak to all different companies, but that's the basis of what I've seen in the past. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you're just securing a house that you might be able to purchase.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You're living in a house that you've agreed to purchase for a value at a future date. And if the value is more than that value, then it makes sense.
yeah.
And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. And a lot of times it doesn't. But I mean, again, I don't know. If someone watches this and they run a successful rent-to-own company and they take care of their clients, and then, you know, obviously I'm not talking to you, and I'm sorry if it talks badly about your industry, but that's basically what I've seen. It's as an investor too. It's an investor buying a property. They're managing the risk of, does this tenant destroy the house?
Yeah.
Does this tenant pay? Right. So there's always going to be a buffer and a profit for them,
Yeah.
and you know, it's a high risk for them. So there's going to be high profit, and if there's high profit, who's going to pay for that in the end?
Yeah. They're not in the business of losing money.
Exactly.
So
Right.
at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Put time's up.
Thumbs up.
Okay, cool.
Think.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for coming, man. It's
Yeah.
a good little chat. Didn't know what we were going to talk about, but we covered some good stuff today.
Yeah. For sure.
Cool.
Good information.
Awesome.